That's going to be Jeremy Della. The two bottom binder out of Cahoga, Missouri. Your leaders 315.80. Russ Vandermeer used to run this tractor. They call it the Rustler. It's spelled R-U-S-S-L-E-R. So that's where the name comes from. Mike Vandermeer, the Rustler, Alma, Illinois.
The real deal, Justin Weigler, your defending points champion, and he was your class winner last night. Listen to this big cubic inch as it starts to curl, away we go.
See. And Adam Alien, Fort Wayne, Indiana. This is Pullman disaster. Lisa Tatum, this is going to be the Park City Auto Parts, hailing out of Bardstown, Kentucky.
Welcome, everybody. What happened to Big Rye? Oh, there he is. He's there, then he's gone. He's there, then he's gone. He's there.
I'm screwing with my headphones, trying to get them to work.
Okay. Well, they sound good. So, well, welcome, everybody. It's June 21st. We call this Let's Grow Pulling Live, brought to you by the Outlaw Truck and Tractor Pulling Association. And, well, we were going to try to get Chris Weigel on here tonight as our first guest. But he's a good promoter, but he sucks at technology. And Zolik knows what I'm talking about there. So I think he's working the track right now. But we do this every Monday night, and we're happy to have you with us. Up there in the middle, Charles Posch. Top right, Paul Romack. Bottom left, sort of Ryan Rusink, I think. Can't tell, guys. Bottom middle, Ryan Zolik. And bottom right, Brent Yarn. There he's back. There he's back. But Brent and I went down to Paris, Missouri, and Fayette, Missouri. We had a good weekend. We'll touch on that later. I know Zolik was up in Mackville. Roos was with us Friday night in Paris. Paul, you were in, Cerro Gordo Friday night in Altamont on Saturday. And Charles was somewhere close to Canada, I think. Where were you at, Charles?
That's about right.
Blanchard, Michigan, multi-sanctioning body deal.
Okay. So like thumb and a bunch of different groups, or what you have?
No thumb. Central Michigan, Indiana Pulling League, and Wolverine State NTPA.
Nice.
That pole is about 15 minutes away from where I went to school.
Yep.
Husker Diesel. Adam spotted your shirt, Charles.
Ryan's.
Is that Ryan's? Oh, okay. What's yours?
Mine's my boss, my agency's logo, Leo Turzo Agency.
Oh, okay. Got it. Yes, Brent, short fighting. I brought some parts home. Not enough, but I brought some parts home. So we're fingers crossed Rock Valley is going to be the debut of the new remedy. We will see. So it's just been one of those years, guys. Davenport, Iowa. I know that as well. Amanda Stern was down there. We were watching stuff. Ryan's shirt. Ryan's got Ryan's shirt. Thanks, Adam. So, well, let's talk about Mound City. So, like, you're going to be down there. Bruce, are you going to Mound City?
Yes, sir.
So I announced down there the last couple of years, and one of my best memories last year was Tinker Toy getting the win. You know, Don was back home, and there wasn't a lot of Pro Stock Champions Tour hooks last year, and to watch Tinker Toy rolling out there. Did he win Friday night or Saturday nights?
Yes.
Friday night.
Friday night. Yeah, and I think
Right?
I think
so.
did he win both
Or
nights?
Saturday.
No, it was Saturday.
It was
I think
Saturday.
Morton won on Friday night.
Yeah.
the winner video I showed was of that one. The winner, and that would have been too high strung. It was Saturday night because Friday night he didn't leave the starting line, remember? And Saturday night he come out and laid down a good one. So as you're watching the show tonight, people, please type in events that you were at last weekend or what polls you're coming to this weekend, and I'll mention them as I'm watching the comments. And Paul, do you need a ride from short fighting?
Maybe.
Okay. So, Ryan, what do you want me? I'll bring up a poster, Ryan. Is that cool, of Mound City, and you and Bruce can start talking about it?
Sure. Yeah. I talked to Waggle right before he came on, trying to help him through his technical difficulties, but it wasn't going, and he's actually now working up the track. He says everything's pretty much ready to go. The east pits are all tiled now for this year. They got that all tiled.
Awesome.
So they're all ready to go. With the pits are in great shape. Weather's looking great. He said out there. It's going to be actually cooler. I think they're supposed to get pretty hot in the middle of the week and then kind of cool off by the weekend. As the graphic shows, advanced tickets, you can get them at whatsmoking.net under the ticket tab. That is good through Wednesday, midnight Wednesday. That's for advanced ticket sales. You can either print them off or we'll scan it off your phone if you do decide to get advanced tickets. Otherwise, tickets will be available at the gate as always. And then, of course, the live stream. We'll be doing the live stream once again for them. That's at whatsmoking.net under the live stream tab. Similar setup, multiple cameras, angles again. He said for camping, it's the most phone calls he's gotten for camping. He's gotten phone calls from North Dakota all the way down to Texas that people are coming up to camp, according to him. So he's excited about that for people coming from multiple states away to watch. So, everything's looking great for the event, and typical classes, same classes as last year, I believe, or the Champions Tour. You got the Pro Stocks, super modified two-wheel drive trucks, lightweight super stocks, Silver Series and Western Series, limited Pro Stocks. 95 Limited Pro, Western Series 85 Limited Pro, Pro Farm, and the limited Pro Stock diesel trucks in the Nebraska Bush light modified class both nights. So
It's going to be a full show.
Yeah, expecting again a pretty big show once again.
You see Amy's comment about the heat? I feel like last year Mound City we had that crazy storm roll through, didn't we?
Yeah, right during
Yep.
there was like 5 Pro Farms left, I think.
I think there's like 2 Pro Farms left.
That's I think you're right.
And then they got that track covered and they saved it. I remember I stood up in the announcer stand like a big chicken, And I watched that video of them actually trying to get all the tarps down and stuff. The wind came up a couple times and took those big bunker silos up by your big bunker tents or whatever they were, like 30 or 40 feet in the air. It was crazy. So
Yeah, I think Sam Kelly almost got flown away, if I remember right. When they were unrolling the tarp.
a lot of people have been commenting on here. And then we got Jeff Sievertson on. He'll be on in a little bit. We're going to talk about Manilla, Iowa after this. But I was reading through some of the comments. What's Pruitt say? He's too busy to watch, getting ready for Toma. Whose mod does he work on? Jason Gibson's, right?
Yep.
Yeah.
The Youngblood mod.
Is that C&G Motorsports he's always posting about? Is that them?
Yes.
Okay. I'm just trying to keep. There's a lot of comments. There was a poll in White Plains, Georgia this Saturday. Steve's going to Mound City. Mike Maxwell was in Paulding, Ohio on Friday, and a little fire department poll, Fox Township on Saturday. Let's see here. What was Wilson at? Yeah, Wilson was down at that big, looked almost like a Kentucky Derby horse park. Looked really nice.
Lexington.
Yeah.
Yeah, right at the horse racetrack.
That was that thoroughbred deal, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Some Facebook user needs some gear juice at Rockwell. That's for you.
That's got to be Dusty Price.
Okay. So.
He's not coming to Rockwell.
Yeah, but nobody else calls me Rue. He's the only one who calls me Rue.
Who calls you Rue?
Dusty.
Okay.
But we didn't think he was coming.
Does he have his mini running?
Not
Working on
yet.
it.
It's close.
Not yet.
Yep.
Well, cool. Anything else we want to touch on Mound City, Ryan? You think you covered it all, or?
Yeah, I mean, I think it's $20 at the gate. I think advance, if you want to get a weekend pass, it's only $35 for the weekend, but I think it's only advance ticket sales for the weekend pass. Okay. And then kids $10 to get in. Otherwise, they're all ready. They're just preparing the track. They'll be working that all week, and they're ready for everyone to converge back on Mound City this weekend.
And then you have access to their Facebook page now, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, we'll be doing. I'm gonna get down there late Wednesday night, and then start setting up for the live stream on Thursday. So we'll do some live videos Thursday and Friday morning.
Okay. Brenton Rogers says Toma, he's leaving Wednesday. Tony Smerling says Peter Norton won Friday night last year in Mound City. That's right.
That's right. I remember Saturday. That now.
Colin is at work right now talking about Toma. And Shore Fight, he says
he's not going to sleep all week.
Yeah, Colin gets kind of excited. Brett and I talked to him on the way home yesterday. So.
Yeah, I want to do a quick shout out to Roger Baum and the crew up in Mackville. They put on an amazing event Friday and Saturday for us. Unfortunately, the local stuff, I think, had to deal with more rain than what we had to on Friday and Saturday. The weather was perfect each night for us. And the crowds, like you saw with Stacy Butson's comments, I mean, Friday night, we had a line, if anyone's been there, around the corner, down the driveway, heading back out towards the houses, the housing development behind the facility on Friday night, Mackville. So we had to delay the start for about 20-25 minutes to kind of let them get in. So
what a great problem to have.
Yeah, that's a great problem to
That's
have.
awesome.
Well, and I think Jeff Sievertson is hoping for a big crowd in Manilla, Iowa this weekend as well, right, Jeff?
Yeah, we sure are.
Jeff,
Looks
wouldn't
like
that
the
be
weather's
awesome
gonna
if
be
we
good.
had to delay the start for 15-20 minutes while you guys funneled everybody in? That'd be awesome.
Jeff, can you hear us okay?
Yep, I got you.
Cool. So I put your poster up there on the page right now. Why don't you kind of go through everything for Saturday and kind of tell us the history of the poll as well? That'd be great. Kind of how it started and who's all involved and everything.
Well, local banker and farmer and tractor puller and I started back in 2011. We had a 125th centennial celebration in our town, and we thought, well, let's have a tractor pull. So we got together and had a pull that year. It was the West Central Iowa Pullers, a little more of a local group, and then that was a huge success. So we took it from there to an Outlaw show the next year, and this is actually our 11th year, 10th year with the Outlaws, and it's in 2017 we changed the configuration of the track and hauled in 250 trailer loads of dirt, and now we have 2 tracks and more seating, and it's just evolved from there.
Yep. No, that's awesome. It's a great event. My dad's pulled out there in the past with you guys, Jeff, and really excited about that and mentioned it. And I know it's a big weekend for the Outlaws too, because you'll have the Iowa pull, and then some of the classes are going down to Texas too as well, correct?
Yes. The Whitewright pull is a great pull. We have, as you guys all know, that a lot of our 2-wheelers and mods and pro stocks, some of them are from the state of Texas. So when they can pull in their backyard, we think that's great. Next year we're going to do a little bit of changing it up, and we're going to go a week earlier. So that'll change us off of Mound City too. So it'll all work out for everybody.
So for those just tuning in, where is Manilla? Like east, west? I know where it is, but can you kind of explain it to the average person, Jeff, for us?
We're kind of in the middle of the triangle. We're about 90 miles from Des Moines. We're about 70 miles from Omaha, and about 85 miles from Sioux City. We're south of Denison, would be our closest larger town. Just a little town of about 800 people, and pretty proud to have this type of pull in our little town. 3,200 pro fields, pro stock 4x4 trucks, light limited pro tractors, light super stocks, limited pro stocks, diesel super stocks, and modified 4-wheel drive trucks. That's a good lineup. Really good lineup there, Jeff. Yes. Yeah, we're looking forward to it. Like I say, we changed it up a little bit this year, and next year we'll get back kind of on schedule, and we'll get up into the 8 or 9 classes next year at least, and get back on track. But this will be a very good show.
Did you guys get COVIDed out last year as well?
Yes, we did.
Okay.
Yeah.
We like to check in and see.
We're looking for big things coming this year.
What the trend seems to be, Jeff, any events that are happening, I'm seeing really big crowds because people are excited to get out and do stuff again. So.
Yeah, we were in Arlington, Nebraska last Saturday night. You still here?
Yep, there you are.
Oh, okay. The Outlaws were in Arlington, Nebraska last Saturday night, and we finally got our tractor together and went out and pulled, and they had a very, very good crowd. A lot of people.
Yeah, I was down in Missouri announcing. Brent was with me, and Ryan was with me on Friday night. We were in Paris, Missouri on Friday night, and they had that Children's Miracle Network pull, Jeff, and it was packed. And then Saturday night in Fayette, they said that's the biggest crowd they've ever had. So I think the trend is people are really excited to get out. And it was holy hotter than hell this weekend too. So I mean, it was big fat guy sweat easy, Jeff, and I'm a fat guy. That's all I'm going to say. So.
Well, we're fortunate that after our very first pull, we brought the fire department on board, and Lewis and I figured out that people weren't going to just cut a check to Jeff and Lewis, so we got the fire department involved. And there's probably not a fire department in the country that doesn't volunteer fire department in the country that doesn't need funding. So it's worked out very well for them. They've benefited well from what we've done there, and so they do a lot of work. They do a great job. I think that the sponsors that we've had that they've all opened up their checkbook quite well this year. Probably the biggest and best we've had yet. So if that's any indication, a lot of talk. I think it'll be a good night.
Yeah, no, that's great. I'm just checking the weather forecast for you right now because I know every promoter loves that. Saturday says 80 and partly cloudy. That sounds horrible, Jeff.
Well, we got scared out last year too. We ended up we got the pull in, and in addition to the classes that we have, we've got a very good sponsor who's been with us every year as Twin Transfer from Manning. They sponsor the local semis. We always bring them in at the end of the night. And in 19, we had the first truck hooked on and it downpoured. So we're kind of hoping we get that in this year.
Fair enough. Jeff, talk about your sponsors a little bit. Can you want to mention a few of them for us tonight on the show?
Yeah. We've got Christensen Agri Services. They are a premier sponsor. We've got Asmal Co-op, Golly Tire, Farm Service Co-op, Van Wall Equipment, Wiffles Hybrids, Keist Auto. We've got several, Aaronholz Construction, Quality Truck, Advanced Communications, 10 Point Construction, Bank Iowa, Manilla Insurance, Robinson Implement, Langefelt Farms, Landis Cooperative, AgriGold, Dan Shaben. As I said before, Twin Transfers. Boozer's been with us for years. Does a great job. Puck Custom Enterprises for Manning. Northwest Lifts, Vetter Equipment. That kind of rounds off our bigger premier sponsors, and we have a whole list of a lot smaller ones that do a great job for us.
All right. Tell us about your tractor a little bit.
You still there?
Yeah.
Okay.
You have a tractor, right, Jeff?
Yeah, we run in the 8500 Light Limited Pro class. Run a green one.
What are the basic rules of that class, Jeff?
Well, turbochargers is 3x4 smooth bore of any kind, and in the past, the precision charger, box charger was run, and that's allowed yet this year. And after this year, then everybody will be a 3x4 smooth bore.
Okay.
466 cubic inch Outlaw water and fuel. That's some of it, I guess.
Yeah. What's your tractor called, Jeff? Just for those.
Grample's Dream. It's a 7930 Deer. Didn't work, and call it Grample's Dream. My son runs it, and my dad started us out in this game, and that's my son's continuing it on. So it's been a good father-son project, as you guys all well know. Everybody, a lot of father-son things.
Yeah, no, that's what makes it special. Okay, I'm going to bring the poster up one more time, Jeff. Let's buzz it down. 3200 Pro Field, Pro Stock 4x4 trucks, light limited pro tractors. That's your class. Light super stocks, limited pro stock tractors, diesel supers, modified four-wheel drive trucks. This Saturday, June 26th in Manilla, Iowa. Pull starts at 6 p.m. Gates open at 4. Small empty coolers are allowed. Beer garden and food stands. Adults 15, under 10, $5. Are the pits open for the public to walk through, Jeff?
Yeah, our pits are a little unique. We actually got enough stuff to cover the track, enough tarp. It can rain right up until showtime. We're in an old railroad yard, so the parking area for the trucks and trailers is a cinder rock base. So the pits are open. They're not fenced in, so the pits are open. Love to have everybody walk up and down and talk to everybody.
Awesome. Well, Jeff, unless you have anything else, we're going to let you go on with your beautiful Monday evening, and good luck to you this Saturday.
Yeah, thanks, everybody. Thanks, Jason.
Thanks, Jeff. Have a good night, sir.
You too.
Jeff Severson, everybody, with Manilla, Iowa, this Saturday in Manilla, Iowa. Like I said, yeah, that's pretty common there, isn't it, there, fellas? Manilla, Iowa. So, Rizolik, talk about Mackville a little bit. Mackville's honestly Toma's probably the biggest pull in Wisconsin, without a doubt, right? I mean, I don't think anybody argue with that. But once you kind of go Toma, then you got to throw Mackville in the mix with the Hillsboro even. I mean, I know Hillsboro gets a lot of love because of the Dalai Lama and all the promotion he does and different things like that. But from like a crowd standpoint and things like that, I mean, it's hard to touch Mackville, right?
I would say so. It's that was their best Friday night crowd that they've had in a long time, from my understanding. And if people don't know where Mackville, Wisconsin is, it's just north of Appleton, about 10 miles, maybe not even 10, like 5 miles. And it's a one intersection town, and there's only a couple buildings in Mackville. It's the pole itself is run by St. Edward's Parish. So if you saw any of the photos, the church is right in the background. It's half the bleachers are on the church parking lot, and then you got the 2 pulling tracks, and then the pits. And then across kitty corner of the church is an adult establishment called
No,
Bean
Ryan,
Snappers.
what does adult establishment mean, Mr. Zolik? My wife's laughing in the other room, just giggling like a little schoolgirl.
It's a strip club.
It's strip
Right
club.
across
Thank
the
you,
street
Zolik.
from the Catholic Church.
I wanted you to say that.
Yep.
No, it's
So-
Mackville's an awesome venue, guys. Two great tracks, and like Ryan said, that pole has built that church. I mean, it really has, and it's big. It supported that Catholic school, and man, I mean, I've watched Larry Kester up there. I've watched all of Stan Shelton before he had the mods. He had the two-wheelers up there, and a lot of good memories up there in Mackville. So they do a nice job combining Badger State classes with your Champions Tour classes. What, Ryan, had 4x4 diesel supers, 4x4 mod trucks, and light supers?
No, just the 2 truck classes this year.
Okay.
Light supers were not. In the past, those 3 were, but just the Pro Mods and the Super Stock diesel trucks were Champions Tour. And then they brought in the light Pro Stocks for the first time up in Mackville, at least with Badger State. So they came in with Super Farm, and then the 4-1s pulled in Friday. So they kind of mixed it up a little bit. On top with Pro Stocks for both nights, and the 2-wheel drive trucks were both nights. So
Cool.
and of course they did the dash for cash, and it was fun using the video board again. I running the camera myself, and then getting the kids involved on that. So that was really fun up there. So
Did you say, what were you texting us that what was the half of the 50-50 raffle Saturday night, like $4,000?
no, Friday night. That was Friday, or was it Saturday? I forget now.
I don't know.
One of the nights, the winner took home $4,000. That was the winner.
There was a lot of people there.
And I think that was Friday night. I'm pretty sure that was Friday nights.
Well, Colin Burkholtz is on here, and he's dreaming about Toma right now. But he said ran out of weekend supply of hot dog and burger buns on Friday night alone. He thought so.
Yeah, I that would not surprise me, because there's no way they were expecting they get a good crowd there Friday night, but not what they had this past Friday night. Like the people who was taking the tickets, they could not keep up with the amount of people that was coming into the gate.
It's crazy. Where are you going this weekend, sir? Oh, Mound City, duh. Took me a second.
Yes, so this will be the first time that I can remember I won't be in Toma, Wisconsin during the event. So that's only for Chris Waggle. So if he's watching, or so there you go.
He hasn't figured out Facebook in 17 years. It's gonna be okay. We're gonna do it for him. So, Charles, tell us about your weekend, sir.
Oh, it's kind of a similar story. You go up to Central Michigan to a real small town, and man, everybody's there. It's I'm not picking on Blanchard by saying it, but I mean, there's nothing there. It's 3,500 people and maybe a gas station. We get there Friday night, and there's cars all the way out. There's no place to park. I mean, it's full. Food vendor sold out by 9 o'clock. The 50-50 Friday night, the winner share was 2,100. Saturday, they had enough tickets to sell up to 2,500 and sold it out. So it was good to see they've always had a decent crowd there, but I mean, enthusiasm to be out and go polling it was impressive to see. And the crowds were there early and stayed past the bitter end and took it all in. So that was pretty cool. Mixed bag of classes. Central Michigan, that event is put on primarily by Chad Fletcher and Jeff Story, and Jeff owns the it's now the Beck's Bin Buster sled, but it was one of the Pioneer sleds, and it's his hometown, so he kind of puts that deal together. And Central Michigan pullers, they don't really have a points tour. They just it's a collective of events that try to target that part of the state and the interest level from pullers. And some of the classes are copies of what West Michigan Pullers does do in their points tour. So 12,000 Field Farms were there both nights. The 500 cubic inch and down, I call them cheater stocks. The gas trucks were there. The no cubic inch limit gas trucks were there. We did have we called it hot diesel, basically a 3.0 truck class, but anybody could run. And we had exactly one 3.0 truck show up Friday night and scatter driveline parts, so he didn't come back Saturday. So Saturday basically turned into 126 truck against all the locals in their street trucks who wanted to try, including a F450 Illuma-Duty that I don't even think was out of warranty yet.
Oh, I saw that.
So that was kind of fun. But on the sanction side, Wolverine State NTPA was their season opener. Two-wheel drive trucks were there. A little light for numbers. It was the first time for two-wheel drives to be at that show, so I was kind of hoping for a little bit better program. But I know there's a few guys waiting on the trucks to be done, so it was light. The Super Farm class for that was kind of like if you could take the Michigan guys, and if you're going to have a Grand National preview class, that's what we had Friday night there. I mean, we didn't have Hart and Ferris's weren't there, but just about everybody else was. And it was a dogfight. Gervin and Bill Casey both had full pulls and decided to split it. And that was the other class that was there. Warhorse, light limited super stock. It's an NTPA thing now, and they were there. And another class with light turnout because guys are waiting on parts, but Wayne hasn't pulled himself, and I think he's been away like 3 years, and he came out and whipped everybody. So it's cool to see Wayne come back out for that.
There's a whoopie maker. I haven't seen that tractor in a while.
Yeah.
Super Farm?
Super Farm, yeah. Bill split the win with Rob Gervin on Friday night there.
There's Rob. Brock Uman was there too, huh?
Yeah, for Saturday night. So that was kind of an interesting deal. They added Indiana Pulling League. Indiana Pulling League is doing what they're calling a super stock combo class, and it's essentially going to be the same sort of thing as Wolverine State's heavy super combo. So you can get super farms and super stocks and limited pros and light pros, and they play with the weights and drawbar heights to kind of equal them out. And it actually does seem to work pretty well. But what happened Saturday night wound up turning into basically an open class. It was a free for all. We had limited pros, super farm, too hot to farm, pro farm, an open super tractor, a two-wheel drive truck, all in there together. And Rob Trowbridge won it with a limited pro. Dwayne Bond's two-wheel drive truck was second, and Sid Broughton on the big alcohol tractor was third. So it was cool to kind of see where all those guys in different power levels would stack up on a common sled setting. So it was different, and for me, that's the kind of thing that's fun to go do.
I want to find that picture that you posted of him looking at you. That was so cool.
Oh yeah,
you just walked past
down.
I think.
You're almost there, right there.
There it is.
Brent was talking about this on the way home. We were driving home from Missouri. That's just so cool. So.
Yeah, about once a year, and like I said in the text for that post, I don't know if they're actually doing it or not. I don't know. He could have been looking at anything. Might have been a pretty girl behind me or something.
I was just saying, do you have any hot chicks behind you, Charles?
No. But about once a year I get somebody to do that, so it's kind of makes for a neat photo anyway.
That's cool. That green Ghost, that's up there by you. Is that a big Detroit diesel? Is that what that is?
Yeah, it's a 12V71, and the guys at Valley Truck Parts own it, and they bring it to a lot of pulls in West and Central Michigan to promote the sport. And actually Saturday, that was just something I was goofing around with my editor. Saturday they asked they asked me if I wanted to go for a ride in it, because they give rides in it all the time down the track, and my son was with me, so I said, well, you know what, take him. I'm going to see you guys probably a dozen more times this year. Take my boy with you. And so Christian went to go for a 300-foot pass in that thing with the nose in the air.
Does the crowd just love that thing?
They eat it up. I mean, kids love it. Yeah, it's cool. It really does work. And to make it do that wheel stand, the sled operator is really the busiest guy in the whole thing, because he's constantly taking the box in and out of gear and stepping on the brakes or whatever, so he can ride that wheelie the whole time. Because he was just to put a normal sled pull setup in it, he'd go down there and then the box would top out, it would stand up and stop, and that'd be the end of it. But Jeff's really learned to follow that thing and keep the wheels up for basically from 100 feet out. It'll walk it all the way to whenever they decide to stop, it'll keep doing it.
I got some video. I'm gonna find some on YouTube here. It's really, I want people to see it. It's pretty cool. I gotta stop that screen share and bring up another one here.
Charles, I didn't realize that was the way that that worked, that there was so much interaction between sled op and driver there.
Yeah, when Jeff first got that sled, the Bin Buster, probably he's had it I think like 6 years now. He struggled. It took him probably a full season to kind of figure out how to really make the thing walk. And this is the 40th year for that machine.
Yeah, I remember when that wasn't green.
Yeah.
I remember when that was red. GMC.
Yep.
That's cool, Charles. They let people ride in it too. That's neat.
Yeah.
That's something a kid's gonna remember forever. So.
They're good guys. They, not only they're promoting the sport, but I mean they're paying it forward too, because they got involved behind the scenes now at an event in Zeeland, Michigan. The Rust and Dust Pole last year was the first year for it. So it'll be coming here in a few weeks for the second time. So I mean they're not just out there advertising for Valley Truck. I mean they're about pulling. They get behind it.
So my favorite picture you took this weekend was right here.
Yeah.
And I know I love a mean farm stock, and I know they can break in half, and I don't want to hear any of that crap. Where was this at?
that was from that was Saturday night in the 12,000 field farm.
So check out the wheelie bars.
Yeah. If you look at one of the other pictures where the nose is starting to come back up after it had slammed back down, look in the cab at the driver, the next one. He's out of the seat from bouncing.
He's smiling, I think.
It's a 10-mile-per-hour class, and we have a digital speed board off the end of the track. So he's watching the speed, and as the load starts to come on, he threw the thing wide open, and it just stood straight up, and he's like, oh, crap, and jumped out of it and slammed it back down. Yeah, he took a little bit of a wild ride, but.
I mean, look at the front tires.
Yeah, compressed them all the way.
When it came down, so. That lady right there, that must be his wife, because she's like, no, we gotta bale hay. So
it's a cool class for the West Side. Those guys, I mean, 12,000 pounds and with the 10-mile-an-hour speed limit, but there's no turbo rule and there's no cubic inch rule. I mean, nobody's got a huge Charger because at 10 miles an hour, you're not going to keep it lit. But I mean, there's a couple tractors with old Super Farm 600-inch motors in that class, and they get down.
There's a group. I think they're called the Renegade Pullers of Minnesota, Charles, that if you look up that Facebook page, it's like RPM or something.
Yeah.
We've had some of them come down to our Redneck Rally in Richland Center, and Zolik has seen them. I think Brent's seen them, and Roos might have seen them as well. But there's a couple, I mean, with duals on them, Charles. I mean, it's truly was what Run What You Brung was supposed to be. So
I forget what her name is. The one lady driving the one. She was she covered the entire real estate of that track in one pass that you had posted, I don't know, from a couple of years ago. I mean, just side to side everywhere.
Yep. So well, cool. Where are you heading this weekend, Charles?
This coming weekend, I'm back to drag racing. It's race 3 for Outlaw Diesel Super Series. I'll be at Virginia Motorsports Park Friday and Saturday for that.
Nice. Sweet, nice. Paul, our Illinois reporter, because Leroy's he's home being a good dad tonight. So
yeah. So Friday night we had Cerro Gordo, Illinois, at the Pike County Fair. There was 5 classes. Of course, we got ours out for the first time, and of course we drew the number 1 hook. So my brother was kind of a little nervous about that, and I told him, I said, unless you go like 330 feet, I don't care what it does, turn it down. And he did. It chirped the Charger a little bit, but we were way fat on water, which is why it did it. And then he came back and did it again.
Is this it, Paul?
This is Altamont, so this is Saturday night.
Can we watch it?
Yeah. Not me in the seat.
All right.
So that's Mr. Leroy on the mic.
What class is this,
Little
Paul?
Bad Alice?
This is 6850 Pro Farm, like a light Pro Farm.
Holy crap, that's a big grandstand.
So that grandstand right there to the right, the one with the red seats, is the one that was there initially. The Effingham County Fair added a ton of seating to that place.
There'll
is
be
this
what,
Friday
more
night?
5 poles there?
This is Sarah Gordo. This is Friday night.
Okay.
And this is my brother as well. Yeah, you'll hear it about 100 feet chirp the charger, but then it comes out of it. So we got that thing done Friday in time to get it on the trailer and get up there because we had to tech. And yeah, we finished it just in time to get it up there. So we didn't know what it was going to do, but it turned out pretty decent. We ended up 4th out of 8 on Friday, and I think we ended up 6th on Saturday. But of course, with polling, we're already talking about all the changes we want to make and potentially going to the dyno very soon. And I don't know. You always look at it and decide what you want to do. But both nights we were there, or at both nights, Friday and Saturday night, we had 2-wheel drive trucks. So the Nelson family was there. It was a rough weekend for the Nelsons. Misty was pulling John's truck at Sarah Gordo, and had something in the drive line went, and we talked to Bethany after the hook, and she said that there were some rods that knocked a hole in the side of the block.
Ouch.
And then Saturday night at Altamont, it was Bethany's turn, and she had something go in the drive line, and the motor went sky high, but not exactly sure what it was. There were no parts on the track, so they had kind of a rough weekend on there. And Altamont is Bethany's hometown. Her and Jared live just outside of Altamont. So, but the Effingham County Fair, I need to give a shout out to Mr. J.R. Quant. Saturday morning, we had about 1.5 inches of rain, and there was about 1.5 inches of slop on top of that track. And I texted him about 8:30, and I said, "What do you think?" And he said, "I'm checking it out here in just a minute." And we got there about 1, and they brought the dozer in and scraped it off. And we were in the tech lane, and they were getting the Little Bad Alice all checked over, and we heard something screaming. I mean, just you could tell it had a straight pipe on it. I'm like, what in the hell is that? I mean, turbo just a singing. And sure enough, it's J.R. Quant in the township's road grader. He's got that scar of fire buried in that track, trying to rip it up and get to some lighter dirt, or get some drier dirt up there. And I was giving him shit about it. I said, you might not be allowed to use that thing anymore if anybody sees what you did with it. But I mean, I've never heard a road grader scream like that. I mean, it's like a new John Deere. It's a nice piece of equipment, but he got it done. It was just a little wet to start out, and there was one class ahead of ours, and then we went up. We had the most numbers, I think, of anybody, but by the time the big stuff come around, it was all power. So, and Effingham County Fair has added so much. They had a small building on the inside on the infield of the track, right behind the announcer stand. They knew it was a problem because you could sit on the end of the track on the pit side, and you couldn't see the starting line. So last year before the fair, they decided they were going to change everything and try to make it better. They moved that building away from the track. They left the announcer stand there because that's part of the horse racing thing, and that's sacred ground there. But it still opens up enough that you can see the entire track now. And then they had to at least double their seating capacity. So they have the Effingham County Fair is into July, 1st of August. It has PPL Champions Tour hook. They used to have the Pro Stocks, but they got double booked this year. So it's now Super Farms, the Unlimited Mods, and the 2-wheel drive trucks on the Saturday night. Monday night, ITPA, I think there's 6 classes again. And then on Wednesday night of the fair, they're bringing in Tucker's bringing in the Western Series and the Silver Series. I think light pros. I think maybe a diesel truck class and the 4-1s, if I'm not mistaken.
And the Pro Mod trucks.
So, yeah, they've really stepped up. They wanted to promote the pulling in general, and they have really stepped up the venue to try to get some more seating in there, get some more people. And they had a great crowd. This was a standalone deal. They'd never done this before, and good crowd, great turnout. They did have a little kiddie tractor pull prior to the show that kids could just walk up to. They wanted a couple of vehicles in the pits or in that area, so we took the Little Bad Alice over there. And one of the things, too, I'm not sure if you guys saw it, Bernie, he's always looking for AC stuff. He likes the AC stuff. Well, Mr. Tim Finnegan, who we lost last year, Tim found a AC 7000 pedal tractor. Some guy had it. It was all there. It was in a box. It was pretty rough. And he called Bernie and he said, you could probably buy this thing pretty cheap. And he said, okay. So he decided he's going to redo that. So if you go to the Little Bad Alice Facebook page, Bernie and my brother, since he does all the painting stuff, they have worked on it and they have it all. It is a pedal tractor pulling tractor replica of the Little Bad Alice. It's got stacks out the top. It's got the decals on the side and everything. But they are doing they're going to do a giveaway. Basically, what it is if you're a kid and you go to one of Bernie's pulls this year in the ITPA, all you got to do is come up and say you want to enter. We give you a ticket. We take your picture on the tractor, and at the end of the year, they're going to do a giveaway, and they're just going to pull a name on a Facebook Live, and they're going to give it away to some kid. Got to be 10 and under. We gave out a bunch of tickets this weekend. So any of the polls, pretty much any ITPA where the 6,000 light supers are, that tractor will be there and you will be able to get it. But we took tons and tons of pictures of kids on that tractor this weekend. So kind of a cool thing they're doing. So
that's a really good replica because I'm trying to bounce back and forth between them.
Yeah.
That's solid.
Yeah, so the lady that did the decals for the side of the tractor basically just took them and shrunk them down. And then we had just the aluminum panels made to fit inside there. So it looks just like it, and the kids were all over it. So
That's awesome.
And Bernie, like I said, this doesn't cost anything. He just wanted to, get the kids involved, and he just said, I'm going to give it away. Because normally what he does is all of his grandkids get a pedal tractor, an orange pedal tractor when they're born or for their first birthday. I can't remember what it is. He didn't have any more grandkids. He doesn't know if he's going to have any more, but he said, screw it, we're going to take a shot. So we ended up, that's what we did. And it turned out really well.
That is absolutely awesome, Paul.
Yeah, it's a lot of fun. Kids can come, and there were kids. So our tractor was in the pits, and Bernie was right next to it, and we had kids climbing all over tractors all Saturday night. We had kids coming and getting on tractors on Friday night on ours because Bernie wasn't pulling Friday night. He actually got to go to a pull and watch. So, but yeah, it's been a lot of fun. So we enjoy it, but we don't have a name for our tractor yet, and we're still trying to figure out when we're going to do something, but we had a lot of suggestions this weekend. A lot of the kids had some really good suggestions. So we're going to do something, but we'll figure it out. Just don't know yet. We got to get the thing to run a little better. Oh, there's John Ferguson. Yeah, he's one of our good buddies. He's a big orange guy, so he's a good dude.
The tractor looks sharp, Paul. I mean, it does. That's a beauty. That's a beaut, Clark. That's a beaut.
Yeah, it's weird because people come up and they're like, okay, what series is that? Well, I have to tell them it's an 8,000 series hood. It's an AC 7000 series console, and it is a 190 XT under all that sheet metal.
What's that Johnny Cash song, Piece by Piece or something?
Got it one piece at a time.
One piece at a time.
Hey, I finally heard Tulsa Time. Roos the other night on the radio. I
Nice.
thought it was-
You what? You've never heard that song?
I never put it together. I was going down to Nordheim when I decided to lose my phone out the window. And Roos was like, you got to listen to Tulsa Time as you're rolling into Tulsa. And I'm like, I don't know what that is. And Yaron made me listen to we listened to the Garth channel for a while, right, Brent?
Yeah.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Then we did the
That was
Y2
bad.
Country, and I heard
I hate
Tulsa
Garth
Time.
Brooks.
Then I heard Tulsa Time. So I was like, that's the song Roos wanted me to listen to.
Don
Right.
Williams did a good version. Don Williams is the king, but their Jason Boland and the Stragglers is a good one. They did a really good remake of it as well. So highly recommend both.
The Pistol Annies also did a very good version of that.
Yes, they did. They're doing a lot of those. Some of those
Mhm.
girl groups are getting together and remaking some. But
Well, Paul, what's on the docket for Paul Romack this weekend?
I am going to Mound City, I believe,
Okay.
as a spectator.
Does Misty know this?
She is going with me.
Okay.
And her son, Dane, he was a big help when we were putting this tractor together. He pulls antiques with his grandpa. Like I've got three tractors that they pull. And he's never really been around a diesel tractor. And I tell you what, that kid is straight up ate up with it. He is all about it. He's 14, and I swear when he's 16, when he's 15 and a half, he's going to be sitting in the seat. He's already thinking, I can drive that. And I'm like, well, it's a little different with the clutch setup. You don't have to use that clutch really at all, but he is super excited to go. He wants to go to these big pulls and see these big tractors, and kind of helps that I know some of these people with these tractors, and he can get up close to them and just ooh and ah over them. So I think we probably got a fan there for sure.
I like it. I like it. Roos?
And you're bringing him out, Paul?
Yes, sir.
Awesome. We'll make sure he has a good time.
No, yes. He may be the driver before it's all over with. The DD, I should say.
Yeah,
But you don't have to go very far to the hotel if you're staying in Mound City.
That's one thing we haven't figured out yet. We got to get that all sorted out.
Yeah, you might want to do that now.
Yeah, we're going to do that probably before the night's over.
You got two options in Mound City, so
Yeah.
Charles touched on that. He didn't want to make fun of that town, but he did make fun of that town for there being nothing there, or Blanchard or whatever. Mound City's the same way. There's two gas stations, a John Deere dealership, and a Dollar General.
McDonald's.
I love the Dollar
McDonald's.
General. Yep.
Hey, there's a pretty good Mexican restaurant there in downtown.
Well, you got-
Remember
You
that?
got Quackers. You
Yeah.
can't forget Quackers.
I hope but I feel like every year there's a tractor pull this weekend. Why would we put extra staff on? There's an extra 5,000 people in town. So
Quickly, I kind of forgot. We should do a shout out to Greg Elsing. He won the Pro Stock class Saturday night. Jason.
I'm going to say it's because Ryan Coates drove the tractor instead of Brandon. I'm just going to throw that out there. So.
Oh, you're gonna throw that out. Also, Brinkmeyer's hurt their pump on Friday night, so they didn't pull either. So,
Okay.
but he won. He won against the vehicles they pulled against. So,
Good.
so we had a New Holland in the winner's circle.
No, Elsing's my friend, and we don't give each other compliments real well, so that's just that's my way of saying good job, Elsing. So, I think I found a video.
Is that potentially the first blue pro stock win in history?
No, he's
Serious,
won
serious
one.
question.
He won in Warren, Illinois in 2019
Yeah,
when I was there.
But he's the only blue pro stock to ever notch victory.
with
At
sheet
least
metal.
in
Yeah.
modern
Yeah.
times.
Yeah, I mean it's a Schneider block underneath the hood, so I mean
Yeah,
it's
I
red under, but still, I mean New Holland, it's a sharp tractor.
Well, there's bloodlines there if it's Rodney's block.
Ryan, did you Friday night winners from video? Was that Saturday night that he won, Ryan?
Yeah, he won Saturday night.
Well, you put a heck of a video together there, Stud.
That's Friday nights. That's Friday nights winners.
Oh, okay. I swear I saw his run somewhere.
It could be on their Facebook page, the Elsing, maybe, possibly. Oh no, on Hills, the Jonah Hills Facebook page.
Okay. It's Hills Power, what do you call it? Pulling.
Outdoor Polling Nation, I think.
Yeah, I found it. I want to show his video before Ryan starts. What's Amanda saying? Is that old slow
Yeah,
ride
it is.
chassis?
Yeah, it is. It's
Okay.
from Chiswick's. I don't know if it's the old slow ride, but it's the old Chiswick chassis under it.
Let's see here. I found me a pro stock video. Hold on.
Yeah, and the two bands afterwards in Mackville, which is always the tradition.
I absolutely love Elsing's tractor. Man, that thing is beautiful.
There's Mr. Elsing's big win. So Wiggle did figure out how to listen to the show, guys, because he just texted me. And Paul, you're supposed to call him to get a room. But
Who?
are you bunking up a shore fighting those guys, or do you need a room?
I probably need a room.
Okay. Chris's number is everywhere anyway, so I'm just gonna say it over the air. You want me to text it to you?
Just text me. Yep, that's fine. I'll do a bunch of. Is there a signal out there?
Yeah.
Okay. Well, I'll do a
You
bunch
on,
And I
of
think-
are you on 5G or LTE?
LTE.
You should be fine.
It's right off the interstate. It's like
Yeah,
get
it's
some
right,
Wi-Fi.
it's right off 29. So
Okay. Yeah, I'll
Like,
try to
the
get some.
interstate splits. Like you're across the street. You literally are across from the town. The interstate splits it where the
Okay.
facility is.
Well,
And then-
I'll be the roving reporter.
We I
You
talked
gotta be
about
busy.
Mound City a lot when I was announcing Friday night and Saturday night in Paris and Fayette. I know a lot of people are heading that way, so it'll be pretty good. And then Chris Kripke-White, I believe he's announcing with Leroy. I've always worked with Chris down there in the past. He does a great job. He's namely the Nebraska Bush announcer. He knows that stuff really well and knows that well. And that announcer stand is awesome down there because it's air conditioned.
But
now.
it's air conditioned.
No.
yes.
When I first got down there, that one in Fayette, it was tin. They had an air conditioner, but it was a sweat box because it wasn't insulated. It was when I first crawled up in there. And like I said, fat guys sweat easy. That was kind of my joke all weekend long. So, but,
I heard the entry laptop overheated because it was so
Yep.
hot down there.
Yep.
and then our first class Friday night, those 85 limited pros, it was and I knew like 90% of the tractors. And Bruce was texting me one time because I hate when you're announcing and somebody doesn't know the right tractor. And I mean, I was looking. I actually got down a couple times because Leroy's up there. Walked down the starting line, read the side shield, and went back upstairs to the announcer stand. So,
Well, the weather for Mound City's looking pretty good. I'm showing 84 for the high on Friday and 81 on Saturday. So
that place has really been that event, and Zoe can account to this, and Roos, and I've been down there many years with these guys. And that event just been getting bigger and bigger and bigger, guys. And having the pro stocks, I think, really took it over the top. And the light supers, I mean, we had Bryce Terry on last week, and when they won Saturday night, that place went nuts. But pro stocks for that womp class, it's hard to beat that, and those are the best. So
one thing that we did have at Altamont this weekend was the Whitworths brought the other tractor in the stable, the old Farm Boy tractor.
yeah,
And Scott took the win in convincing fashion, and
Yeah,
I was not
72
aware.
right,
What's
Brent?
that?
72 feet, Brent. Did we figure out?
Yeah, it was crazy. I mean, he got the front end up and just it went. But I was not aware that tractor is for sale. So if anybody is looking, Leroy came up with some inside information on that. If anybody's looking for a really good light super stock tractor, just jump right into class. Look up the Whitworth bunch. They've got one that can put you right up there with them.
Leroy is like a private detective.
He's a nerd. I don't know if there's a better word, like a pulling nerd, but yeah, he said that, and I was actually live. I was going live to watch it. I thought, well, here comes Scott Whitworth. We'll stay on for this one because I kept getting messages from Jamie Qualls. He wanted me to do the whole 2-wheel drive class, and I'm like, well, I'll do a couple of during this, and well, then here comes Scott Whitworth, and I mean, it was literally just swing the phone around because hell, he was halfway around turn 1 by the time he stopped.
Well, they definitely figured things out since Harley on Saturday night. So
Old Lance has got them set up now.
I like that. Bruce, let's talk about your weekend, sir.
Good weekend. It's always nice to get down to Central Missouri. I haven't been down for Mexico in a long time, but I've been there for both of the Paris pulls, and they're always a good time. It's a driven group. They're very passionate about what they do and what they're raising money for. They use phrases like "this is our why," and they take it to a different level. You know, I mean, we have lots and lots of benefit pulls and charity pulls and that benefit this organization or that organization. And then you have the Children's Miracle Power Pull. They make no bones about the fact that they wear their heart on their sleeve. And they, you know, several of the people who are, well, at least one of the people who was involved in that pull, he wouldn't be here today without what they're raising money for, which is the kind of
Giraffe Omni bed.
Giraffe Omni bed, right, and the warming blanket. Basically, it's a bed in a bubble.
Yep, it's an incubator.
Yeah, it's an incubator, for lack of a better term. There's one guy whose son would not be with us today, and you know, you talk about being ate up with pulling, boy, I'll tell you what, Jace sure is. And you know, he wouldn't be here today without one of those beds becoming available under sad circumstances. When he was born, he needed that bed.
I just put the link to their Facebook page in the comments for everybody, Rye. So.
Thank you.
I've got to make it to Paris.
What did we have? Did we have 6 classes?
You're a sponsor, Paul. Thank you. I read your name off many times.
I know. I heard that when we tuned in from Cerro Gordo. Yeah, I've sponsored it every year, and I'll do so every year. And one of these years, I'm actually going to go.
We will actually be glad to have you.
I would actually like that very much.
Yeah.
Maybe I can be in the group shot that you guys sent at 12 o'clock.
That, did you?
You all thought we were number 1.
No, we actually thought you were number 4.
Oh, well, yeah. Counting is difficult.
It was Leroy's idea. I didn't want to flip you off, Paul. That was Leroy's idea.
I'm sure it pained you very much.
I will vouch for the fact
it actually was.
Leroy.
Yeah. The smile didn't really come across like you
were. Leroy's always kind of giving me the ideas. Like, he wants me to be the bad guy because he's an angel. That's what I keep telling him. So he has a lot of fun. You do that, Schultz. I'm like,
he's the strong, or he's the weak mind and you're the strong back, or you're the weak back and he's the strong mind. I'm
definitely a weak mind. I know that much. I know that much.
So, yeah, it was it was a good show. I think what was probably the biggest light pro class I've ever seen.
Look good.
I don't know how I lost count of how many tractors there were. Jason, do you remember?
I think we figured out as around 80 to 85 hooks.
15 light pros.
15 light pros.
15 light pros, and I've never seen light pros run outdoors before. I don't think.
I doubted you haven't, because you've seen them inside at the G-Ville and the shipping.
Well, yeah, that's not right. Western Series runs a class of light pros, but it's usually, it hasn't caught on like it has, east of the river.
Yeah.
So we get a consistent 5-6 when we run that class, but having 15 from as far south or as far east and south as the Carolinas with the Beasleys, that was fantastic.
There were some heavy hitters in that too.
There were some very heavy hitters. There was at least one heavy hitter that took some parts home in a bucket.
Yeah.
Not the year to do that.
No, but I was glad to have seen that tractor. I've never gotten to see that black case before, and that was that thing is sharp.
Yeah.
But let's see. We had a good class of light pros. We had a huge class of pro farms, the 9,000 pro farm.
Light limited supers was a big class too, Roos.
Yeah.
How many did we have?
11.
Yeah.
So, and
that's pretty big for the Western Series, isn't it, Zoe?
It really depends on what's going on in the week, but now with like the autos, and they've had a lot of tractors switch over from like their light pro farm class up to light limited super stock in the last couple of years.
Okay.
But I think they get 8 to 9 now pretty consistently.
Yep.
Because I think the weekend prior in Pleasant Hill, I think they had 10 or 11 too.
Okay, good.
As well. So
yeah, no, there were some good Elkies and some good diesels. I think Brent was telling me those light limited diesels now they're keeping up with the Elkies for sure. So.
Oh, for sure they are.
Was that Brad Cochran's case? The
Yes.
one
Yes. Yeah. It was Brad's.
Case incognito.
Yeah, I talked to him at Hart's on Saturday afternoon. All the light pro guys were at Hart's Diesel Tour in the shop when I popped in to try to steal some stuff to put my tractor back together, and I had to kind of tiptoe in there. Brent and I were sneaking stuff out the side door. It was awesome. So.
Nice.
Let's see here. Okay, so Short Fighty's saying you saw the light pros in Nashville, right?
He wasn't there.
Yeah, I wasn't. If you're talking about Nash Vegas just a couple of weeks ago, I wasn't there.
No, last year for
September
shootout.
They didn't have the light pros.
Hey, Roos.
Yes.
Who's the guy back right there on my mouse that makes your pie or whatever that you like? Right of the sled.
That's Keenan Brault.
Yeah, Keenan. Yep, I couldn't remember his name for the life of me. So.
Yeah,
he was
Kara got off the hook.
in Mound City last year, I think.
He's not going to be in Mound City this year, so Kara's off the hook on having to make an apple pie.
Okay.
So
speaking of apple pie, Jerry Setter was a good man, and he some money was raised for some Jerry juice, and I like to say that my car came home with some of it, so it's all good.
That's awesome.
We'll all remember our first really good Jerry juice experience in Rockwell, Iowa on Thursday when Roos slept on my trailer floor and a big taco. So I'm not sure what that thing was. Roos, same thing you slept in.
I don't know either. Doug Borth could answer that question. He'd probably give you a somewhat off-color answer, but whatever.
Whatever.
It is what it is.
It was fun.
So yeah, it was a great show. Special thanks to Justin and Julie Stuckenschneider for hosting me.
So where's that picture of you and his daughter?
I think Justin posted it, I think.
Yeah, it's on Beer Money.
Okay. Yeah, it's on Beer Money.
I know he sent it to Kara, and she thought it was cute.
Missy just said that was a really good picture.
We all call Rye Big Rye, but when you see him next to 2 or 3 year old, he's a big Rye.
Yeah, I'd become bigger than life.
Your feet are actually bigger than her, Roos.
Yes, I know.
The bigger than life is kind of
Tell you what, that little kid's got a little attitude. She's sassy. I like her.
Oh, have you met her parents?
Uh-huh.
So I got to share this picture, and I know this is Roos's time, but you guys know I interrupt all the time anyway. So this is Dustin Hart's little boy, and he hasn't met me yet.
Oh, yeah.
So I walked up to the trailer, and I was getting some pictures for their Facebook page, and Dustin and Brittany were freaking laughing, and he would not. He wouldn't. He saw me coming. I'm like, hey, bud, can I take your picture? And he just made that face. And Dustin and Lisa, I'm just glad his parents are there, because if somebody was walking by and they saw that little boy, they'd be like, what's that guy doing with that kid? So this video, I don't know who this is, but it's reached almost 300,000 people. So good old TikTok. There it is.
There we go.
So there's Roos's shoe, and it's like that's what I was thinking.
And that's Eve. Yeah, and that's Eve.
So
I love that little girl. She's fun. She's a hoot. And she is absolutely ate up with pulling too. She absolutely loves diesels. She was pointing at the smoke after every pass and telling me to look at the smoke. And she was also telling everybody around her to clap, including me.
You were down by the VIP tents, right?
Yeah, I was kind of down in that area.
Yes, I thought. So, well, cool. How long did you hang out with Justin and Julie Saturday before you headed home?
Early afternoon. Once they put her down for a nap, I packed up and bailed. So, wanted to spend a little time home with the fam, and since I'm going to be leaving Cara for, I don't know, the foreseeable future. Yeah, like the rest of the summer.
Yeah.
Hey, can we talk about something that maybe isn't so much fun?
You're always good at that, but yeah, let's do it.
Well, I don't want to be the buzzkill here, but most all of us know who Adam Draught is. With Matt Pulling Picks, he's out of New York. Former vice or maybe current vice president of, Charles, help me out.
Empire State.
Empire. About a month ago, he was diagnosed with multiple myeloma. Adam is a pulling photographer and a dear friend of mine and a dear friend of many of ours. And one of those guys who is tirelessly promoting the sport, and, doing amazing things on the track. He's been a mentor of mine. He's been a coach. He's been inspiration. He's been a swift kick in the ass when I needed it. And he found out that he's now in the fight of his life with multiple myeloma, which I believe is bone cancer. And as far as I know,
cancer, I thought.
What is it?
Blood cancer. It's in the bone marrow.
Yeah. And there's no cure. And so Adam got dealt a pretty big blow, and being a cancer survivor myself, it kind of, stung me a little bit, and, kind of really took my breath away when I heard it. He's been through the first round of chemo, and he is feeling reasonably good. But his brother is riding, I believe, a bicycle ride, 45 miles, and he's raising money for, it's Ride for Roswell, but it's for cancer research for multiple myeloma.
I just posted Ryan the link.
Say again?
I just posted the link in the comments.
Thank you. I'm challenging everybody I know in the pulling media. If you sell something, I'm challenging you to throw down some of whatever it is that you make over the next whatever time period you set, and put it towards this. Everything that I sell this weekend, every photo that sells from Mound City, proceeds are going to that ride. And I feel pretty strongly about this. I want to rally behind Adam, because I love the guy and I miss the guy, and I don't get to see him near as often as I want to. But I would like to challenge anybody who's involved in the pulling media who has a product to sell. Put your money where your mouth is. I'll do it.
Yep. I'll hop on that as well. I'll do it for
Thank you.
next couple events I do. So
Awesome.
I'm in.
Awesome.
The link to his page is right there. So donate now button, and away you go. So
How much have they raised?
$6,500 of their $10,000 goal. So they're 65% there.
Then
they've been extending that goal. It first started at 2,000, then went to 5, and then went to 75.
Yeah.
And that's over the course of, I think, less than 48 hours now.
Yeah, they've people have shown up in force, but we want to keep pushing that and show him that his pulling family cares, and we love the guy, and we want him to, we're in this fight with him.
Well, if history's shown anything, the pulling family will come together and make it happen.
And if you all want to throw down 10 grand, you can bring a razor to Mound City, and we'll do it at half track.
Comments. Taylor Tyler. Wow, that's a name. Taylor Tyler said that. There was. What was that thing Friday night in Paris? It was like the red. It was so hard to say, but I would think I remember it. But it was. There was a couple.
Oh wait, no.
Sorry. No, that's Leroy.
A week later.
Yeah, that's I always say to Leroy. He's like, "Shut up, Schultz." Stereo Goat is awesome. Brandon Simon, Tim Pico. They dealt with some rain too, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, they. Yeah. It scared Woody off on Saturday.
Yeah.
Oh, he was in Altamont, I believe.
Yeah.
He was
ready to he was early in the morning already asking about or telling them that they should just cancel it so he could go to Altamont.
Yeah.
Nice.
Being
Is this
helpful.
Brandon? Is this Brandon or who's this guy?
Brandon.
Brandon.
Yeah, that's Brandon.
RJ was running the sled this weekend.
Yep.
In Davenport.
Yep.
What? A sand pile?
Yeah, they need a sand pile there.
Yeah, they need a sand pile there, and that's a short track. That sled gets on them hard.
Is that the Norton one or is that the
Yes.
Boys?
That's the Norton
Yep,
one.
that's yep.
Let's watch that one more time because I like the sounds of Pro Stocks. Okay.
Yeah, I did see a comment in there about Robbie Russell if he's in Mound City, and I think Clint said that they were going to have it back together for.
That's awesome.
You know, Marty, I dare say Brandon's getting the hang of that pretty good and solid. He's got that thing figured out.
What they have, like a first and a second, and then a second
Is he-
and a third?
He's got to be up there in points, I would think.
Oh yeah.
They took second and third on Friday night, and then a first, and then they had some issues with the other one on
That's
Saturday.
right.
But yeah, they bought two tractors that were already competing. So, but to be able to jump into the class right away and do well, it's pretty impressive.
There's Shane Hunt and his good-looking girlfriend. We pick on him when he gets on there. Hopkinsville, Kentucky is next weekend for anyone looking to pull July 4th weekend. That'd probably be what, Battle of the Bluegrass, Brent?
I believe that's Mid-South. That's one of their biggest polls.
Oh, okay.
The 2-day, I believe, both Friday and Saturday night.
Nice.
It's a big county fair.
Short Fight Eat just wanted to put his picture up there. You've seen them at Nashville. Looks like the new tractor's running good, Paul, from an anonymous somebody that they won't let him log in.
Is that Paul? Did Paul comment on his own?
I did not because Paul was already saying it's not running good enough. Paul said that right after it got off the track. It did good, but I'm like, we need more. We got more.
So RJ had their showboat sled in Davenport Saturday night for the ECI show. So that's what Amanda's comment is. Henry County Fair is Thursday night in Cambridge, Illinois. ISP and another brush group.
So that Nick runs with Clark Oltman's on the Super Teaker.
Okay.
They got it out for the first time.
I think that's ISP's first poll of the year.
Yes. And I don't know if Matt Hart's going to be on the mic for that one or not.
I was just about to ask that. Does that
I think I would assume so.
Yeah, he's kind of their guy.
He's one of a kind. That guy's
he's
a dude.
I love that guy.
Brent touched on this earlier. You think he's going to be in?
I believe at our 5 o'clock in the morning parking lot bar time, that Clint said that he talked to somebody and that he was hoping to have it together for Mound City or had it together.
If you really want to learn about pulling, you hang out with Tucker in a hotel parking lot 2 nights in a row till 4 or 5 in the morning, drinking Jerry juice.
You will learn a lot more about pulling than you ever wanted to know.
You'll learn a lot of things about pulling that you don't want to know.
Yes.
We had a blast. Short fighting, my first Jerry juice experience, including losing my voice for a week after Gordyville.
My first Jerry Juice experience was Gordyville.
I think my first was Mound City. Yeah,
So
it
Will
was.
just texted me. He says, funny story, talked to Brandon Simon last night, asked how much room they needed in the pits. He said 3 haulers and 5 support vehicles, laugh out loud. So
Awesome.
there's the east parking lot, the west parking lot, and the Simon parking lot.
Mm-hmm.
Hopefully they don't have a lake form next to them this year.
Right? No,
Well,
they said they tiled it.
Yep, it's all tiled now, so they hopefully will not be any disasters. And hopefully a semi truck doesn't pull in thinking it's a semi parking lot too. So
Yeah. Well, I mean, there's all the other trucks are parked there.
but he drove right into the lake.
Yeah.
that was
Well,
formed.
Oh,
probably
I
a
didn't hear
Swift
that
driver,
story.
right? Swift driver. So I didn't go to. I don't think any of
Brian
us here-
Thurston went down there.
Brian Thurston was there.
Was he?
Thurston pulling photos.
Yep.
I'm catching up with the comments here. But the thing about Mound City, like the Mound City firemen and Waggle and all those guys, if they need something, next year they're going to get it. I mean, they just keep doing it, and that's why that bench is going to keep growing.
Yep.
Even though, like to Charles's point, there's nothing else there. Don't make fun of Quackers. Don't make fun of Quackers. They got good seats.
That's about Quackers is about it. So.
Hey, that's not entirely true about Mound City. There is if I'm not mistaken, I believe there's a distillery, like a real deal distillery.
Oh, you would know.
Yeah,
being put in there, being installed there. And if that happens, you will start to see some tourism come through.
AKA Ryan.
No.
I'm gonna go a day early. Stay a day
late.
late.
I don't think it's in yet, but I know that there is a plan for it, and that being where it is, that will attract Omaha, that will attract Kansas City, and it will start attracting more development, and that's a good thing.
Oh yeah.
So, speaking of Mound City, I think I'm going to go see Mike French on Friday morning.
Mr. Shorefighty,
be
I saw
fun.
your comment, and yes, I am currently making a plate for an AC 301. So there's your answer.
Waggle says the distillery goes online this summer. So
Nice.
There's Mr.
Nice.
Clark Oldman's with the super ticker.
And last
Whitewright.
night,
I had their poster, guys. Give me a second. One of their promoters was going to come on after the Manilla promoter. And if we could have got Wiggle to learn how to use the internet down there, we could have had him on because he's. I want to announce a tractor pull with Wiggle before I die, and I think that'd be a lot of fun. So a lot of fun because I feel like I'm one of the biggest BSers out there, and I think Wiggle gives me a run for my money. So
Tell him to come up for Richland Center in July.
there you go.
Oh no, he's having knee surgery though in July, so you won't be able to probably come up for that.
You can announce from a wheelchair.
when's he going to have tractor surgery? I want to see the Jolly Green Giant take the track again.
I think they're waiting for the component thing.
Yeah.
There was some component chatter at 4 a.m.
Mm-hmm.
That's always enjoyable.
Was it chatter or was it people being shouty?
Just Clint and I chatting about it. It's all good. Here is the here's the poster, guys, for Whitewright. Somebody was asking about that. That's TTPA, and they've seen them. They have a nice show. And then there's some outlaw classes as well down there. So let's see here. What do I got? I got to get rid of that comment. Give me a second. There it is, guys. So I think this is Whitey's poll, right? Hometown poll?
No. They're over in Columbus.
Okay. So I think Whitey's poll, Zolik, and this one are probably the two most attended polls in Texas, is what I've been.
They had to cancel Columbus, right? Because they actually had rain.
Yes, they actually had rain.
Yep.
They get 2 inches a year, and it all came that weekend. So Thunder and the Lone Star State. So I'm going to put their Facebook page.
Isn't any poll in Texas, if you're from Texas, your hometown poll?
Ish.
Yeah, something like that.
Yeah, so Jared was with us, so we were getting hungry. So Brent and I went over to Wendy's. So it started raining, and we were drinking in front of, like, underneath the Russell Stover's awning. So everybody Thad Bridges was like looking in the window to all this chocolate. We were just stupid. And there was a homeless guy walking around that crawled into the dumpster at Arby's. We got lots of good stories, guys. I'm just all.
And then we decided, Schultz and I were going to go to bed at 3 o'clock in the morning. We're walking to the entrance of the hotel, and all of a sudden he's like, "Hey, let's go over to the truck stop and let's go get some food." So we walk over to the truck stop, and there's a Wendy's attached to it, and it's a 24/7 Wendy's. So we went and got some Wendy's, and he bought for Clinton, Jerry, and myself, and Jason. And so I called Clinton like, hey, don't move. We're bringing you food. So we ended up going back there. Well, on our way out, Schultz is just like, I'm going to borrow this this broom and this dustpan, one of those dustpans with the big handles on it so you can just sweep right into it. So he takes off. I take the food and he takes off in front of me, and he got Clint a new broom and dustpan.
I got that for Gordyville.
So yeah, we didn't end up going to bed till like after 4 then because of us deciding to take a food detour.
That may have been a very good idea.
What's that? The Wendy's?
Eating food at 4 o'clock in the morning.
Oh yeah, it was fantastic.
Made waking up a whole lot.
Oh, and I bought some scratch offs. Jerry, did I win anything? Because I gave you the rest of them to scratch.
Wait for him to jump on there.
We were bad. John Mears, don't you even think about doing that 4-1 component rule after the hell I went through a couple of weeks ago.
You may get to plead your case in person this weekend.
Oh, what you don't want to do, you don't want to get really hammered and talk to them, him and Christy, like at 3 or 4 in the morning to get real honest. I might have done that 5 years ago, and they might not have forgiven me since. So I'm just going to throw that out there, Paul.
Okay, thank you for the advice.
Hey, it's our show. My advice. It's free. And I'm pleased, if you see Tucker this weekend, check out his new dustpan, because it's a nice one. It's one that's got the flipper thing on it, and I even kept the trash in it for him. That's how nice that guy was.
Wow. Souvenir and a dustpan.
Yeah.
Is he supposed to have that at the starting line or what?
Yes. I'm saving it for Gordyville, I told him. And then Jerry had all of his Jerry juice up in the front of the truck, and he actually has a hoe, like a garden hoe thing, to reach in the front of the truck and pull it back. I'm telling you, these guys think of it all. I mean, I learned so much. There's Josh. I think Josh is announcing it.
Jerry should comment about Amy's daughter Sarah winning some of his juice by doing a card trick and taking Randy Stuckenschneider's money.
And taking Randy Stuckenschneider's
This was in Nashville.
Okay. Jerry said he'll get the boss's hammer, then they can talk components. Well, just please send me video. That's all I ask. So.
There you go.
I want to hear everybody pronouncing components when they're hammered.
I may be able to oblige you with that.
That components, Charles. Oh, that's funny. So Brent and I jumped in the black Cadillac Friday at 9 a.m. We headed for Missouri. Brent drives really fast, and then we met a Missouri State Trooper. And I was in the passenger seat. He comes up to the passenger window, and he goes, "Where are you guys going to in a hurry?" And I said, "Well, we're going to Missouri to announce a tractor pull." He goes, "Well, you're in Missouri." I said, "Well, that would make sense because you're a Missouri State Trooper." And he was a very nice man. And he, luckily, Mr. Yarn, Brent has a good driving record, so he just said, "You just slow it down and keep her moving." So we kept her moving.
It was literally a 3-minute traffic stop.
Yep. My insurance was expired. Why wouldn't it? He goes, "Well, if you got a Cadillac, you probably got insurance." I said, "I do." And
you criminal.
He asked me if I was Brent's dad, and I said, "I'm kind of his stepdad, but I'm old enough to be his dad." So he laughed about that. We made him laugh.
Hey, at least you didn't have to you walk the line this time.
That was fun that night.
Well, we also think that it had to do with that it was also like 103 degrees out, and he didn't want to be out there anymore.
I think that's part of it. So I think
you should have told him to sit in the car in the air conditioning.
Yep.
How much did we raise in the auction after the show in Paris? Does anyone know?
One of the blankets went for about $1,300. Another one went for about $1,000. $2,000 for the Gopher tractor. Bausma bought it, gave it to Molinex's, and then Justin said he would build him up one of the Bausma triage of tractors. And then
and Roos is gonna give a pictures for a year.
Yep, I remember that.
Yep, they're getting pictures for a year.
I would say the Jared Juice probably raised their $2,500.
Nice.
I think it raised. I would say $2,000 to $2,500 probably.
Yeah. So probably in the auction it's probably close around $5,000.
Yeah.
$6,000.
So their goal was to raise $48,000 total. Roos.
Yeah.
I don't know if you can remember when I was announcing.
Chad Richardson did say at the drivers' meeting in Fayette on Saturday that they still had to finish counting up some stuff that was coming in, but they believe that they were going to reach their goal.
Awesome.
And then Fayette was Saturday. We went to some nice little restaurant there in Moberly, Missouri with the air conditioning that didn't stink, but we had good food. And then Brent and I went over to Hart's for about 3 hours, and we snuck some parts out the back door and put them in my car. Then we went to the pool, and Fayette was awesome. They had a great track. They made it. It was so hot, you guys. Sunday they dug it up again, Brent, like an hour before showtime, so we started a little late. But it was the best decision they ever did. They dumped water, re-rolled it in, and had a great night. And then, with all that humidity, storms kind of started.
Yeah, we got lucky. We got absolutely lucky because there was probably not even 5 miles away. I mean, to the north, it was. You could see it in the videos. I'm sure Jesse should be posting the winter video for Fayette on the Western Series page probably tomorrow. But I know during Jason Wayman's pass, you can see it lightning in the background, and it was just missing us the whole time. And it was probably like 40-mile-an-hour winds. The trees were like sideways.
And all the barriers were going for rides.
Yeah, and the smoke was just like gone after the vehicles were off the track. Like they pulled out the throttle, and there was no more smoke on the track. I mean, it's pretty crazy. And they had a couple some like Pro Street like gas trucks and some super stock trucks afterwards, and I think they got 4 trucks in maybe, and then Mother Nature let loose, and we had some Mound City rain.
They had some 485 gas trucks, and I think some bigger like 530 gas trucks. But we didn't get to those, but it was raining sideways like Mound City.
Yeah, not as long, but it was for a good probably 10 minutes of Mound City rain. And
wait, they have a class of 530 gas trucks down there?
I think so, like a super stock class. Yeah, they were
a super stock.
Kind of some open stuff.
Cool. I didn't realize that.
Well, they weren't Western Series. That show was open. It was like invitational only. Daryl, who works at Hart's, who I didn't know his nickname was Gopher.
So Roos, that gas truck that pulled in Paris, it was the same class.
Yeah, the gunslinger, but that's a 485.
Yeah, there was 2 classes, Roos. Cool. There was a 485 class, and there was some bigger ones. So I'm assuming 530. I could be wrong. So, Jerry's saying MSTPA trucks, so that's Missouri State.
Gotcha.
I don't know about the exact cubic inches. The gal that brought the sheets up wasn't 100% sure. She just flipped them down for me. So we were just having fun. So, yeah, I'm going to Toma this weekend. Waggle's still pissed at me. He's been texting me all night. We're going to sell T-shirts. We're going to have a beer money stand right behind the grandstand. And the Remedy was supposed to be there, but yeah, we're going to talk about that another day. Waggle did say his tractor would be out next year, the Jolly Green Giant. So beautiful tractor, and he always that thing ran hard. That's all I'm going to say. So,
hey Jason, when you're in Toma this weekend, I want you to keep an eye open for Bill Miller's tractor, and if you see it, go visit their pits and go introduce yourself.
I know Bill.
Find out what the story is on who their driver is going to be.
Okay.
Because I don't know that this is going to happen, but I know that it's what she wanted to happen. But one of Bill Miller's granddaughters wants to run the tractor and wanted to make her debut at Toma. I don't know that that's going to happen. I don't know if the tractor's going to be ready, and that's a pretty... Yeah, that's a pretty aggressive debut schedule. Let's go to the one of the biggest pulls in the world and learn how to sidestep the clutch. But hey, stranger things have happened. So if that happens, definitely be there and say hello to her and interview her. She's excited and she's kind of ate up with pulling, and I could be cool.
Awesome.
So
awesome.
And things are going well as we're getting down towards crunch time for the North Iowa Nationals. That's going to be another great show this year.
Yep.
So I think we're.
I'm up.
I don't know if we can get if we've got time for to get Tim on next week, but if not, let's definitely get him on the Monday the week of.
Yeah, I want to get Tim on, and then somebody from Rock Valley as well that same week, right? It'll be a rock kind of Iowa. We'll call it the Rock in Iowa show or something.
There we go. Can we play like rock, paper, scissors as to who gets what weekend next year? Like live on air?
I think Nurian said that comes down to what the NTPA schedule, right? The Grand Nationals.
Yeah, unfortunately it does. We're kind of locked in.
Yeah, I know. That's how it works with the dates.
No one wants to be on 4th of July weekend.
No.
Nope.
It's
Hey,
a tough
Bruce,
one.
I did look up the rules for those two trucks. The Pro Stock trucks are 485 cubic inch, and the Pro Street are 473, and there was some just different rules. So there's not a whole lot different, but they are a little different.
Oh yeah. So Tucker sits in his garage and smokes cigarettes and drinks on Monday nights and calls us the Hollywood Square guys. And then he was telling us that like at 3 a.m. He's like, Schultz, he's like, I sit there with the guys and we're like Hollywood Squares, and they said when one of us says something stupid, they want me to be able to have an X that I could put on your face, like like it'd be a lot of Charles down here, or Paul, not Charles, Paul. But it's funny.
Yeah, he specifically called you out, Paul.
I bet he did.
But he said it's like Hollywood Squares. So.
We haven't had Joe Hurd on in a while.
I like
him. He's a married man.
I noticed that.
He is.
Congratulations, Joe.
Yeah, I don't. Joe would be a good guest. Joe's a good winner guest. We can spend more time with them. There'll be many events to talk about and stuff. So good stuff. Well, guys, I'm out of stuff. I don't know. Let's run through the Hollywood Squares and let's sign her off.
Do we want to go over Toma quick?
Oh yeah, let's do Toma quick.
I mean, I feel like that's the big one.
It's just Toma,
It's just a small pole. It's
Some
just
pole in the middle of nowhere.
Yeah, some brush pole.
Couple trucks here and there.
Yeah.
Go ahead, Brent.
Okay, yeah, I'll go over it quick. So obviously Toma's this weekend starts Friday night. So that's Thursday, June 24th, 7 p.m. It's fan appreciation night. They'll have the Region 3 light pro stock tractors, and then the rest of these classes will be Grand National. So it's modified tractors, super stock diesel 4-wheel drive trucks, super stock diesel tractors, 2-wheel drive trucks, and super farm. Friday, June 25th at 12 p.m. It is 4-wheel drive trucks, modifieds, light super stock tractors, super stock diesel 4-wheel drive trucks, and super semis, and then the Region 3 light pro stocks. There's also a kids club for a meet and greet with the drivers at 9 to 11 a.m. Friday night at 7 p.m. There is a motorcycle parade at 6 p.m. Grand National Pro Stock tractors, Region 3 limited pro stock tractors, unlimiteds, light unlimiteds, and modified minis. And then Saturday during the day is a salute to the farmer at 11 a.m. That's June 26th. Region 3 limited pro stock tractors, and then Grand National Super Farm tractors, light unlimited tractors, 2-wheel drive trucks, and super stock diesel tractors. And then rounding out the weekend is Saturday night at 7 p.m. at June 26th. Pro stock tractors, 4-wheel drive trucks, light super stock tractors, modified minis, unlimiteds, and super semis. Admission for that is $24 per person for age 8 and up. 7 and under are free. You can get an all-day ticket on Friday and Saturday. They're $44 each, or you can get a weekend pass for $110. I don't know if advanced ticket sales are still open or not.
I think they are. I'm pretty sure.
I think they're open till Thursday sometime.
Yeah.
Or not? Or
I think you can actually buy them right up till the event time almost.
Yeah. So I don't know. Let's see if they have that information here.
I'm sure camping is still available.
Yep. Oh, military on Friday for the 7 p.m. show, because it's for military appreciation, is $17. You have to have your military ID. And camping, I know camping's still available. They have plenty of camping out there. Let's see if it says how much that is. Looks like it is $400 for one electric site and 2 season wristbands. For a non-electric site and 2 season passes wristbands is $350. For just the electric site, no wristbands, $200. For a non-electric site with or without a generator is $150. A handicap site's $200, and then any additional season wristbands will be the $110. And you can also get an event hat for $23. So I think that covers everything there.
And then their live stream, of course.
Yeah, and then they do have live stream, so that's at ntpa.tv, or yeah, it's ntpa.tv. prices on that. Let me check.
$1 million.
So it's $24 per session or 110. So it's the same price as if you were there in person. You can
Do
also
they have a season pass?
They do have a season pass for $300, and that'll give you all their live stream events throughout the year. I don't remember how many that is. I want to say that
this is their first. This is their first live stream.
Yeah, I believe. Are they doing Rockwell this year? Live stream Rockwell?
Yes.
So Toma, Rockwell, Chapel Hill, Fort Recovery, Bowling Green, Wellington, Sandwich, Enderley Pull-Off. I don't know what else there are, but I know for a fact that those ones will be there.
Hey, that's dealer's pleasure.
I was going to say, that looks like Brinkmeyer.
So, yeah, I'm assuming it's going to be a huge show, considering everything else has been ginormous this year with numbers. So, especially having a year off. But, I don't know. I'm excited to get there. I'll be there Thursday after work. And unfortunately, can't stay all weekend. I have a wedding on Saturday, but it should be a good time. Looking forward to it.
Who plans their wedding on a Toma weekend?
I told my buddy that. But
Hey, Charles, should we talk about Lisa Jostock's run, her pass?
Yeah, we could. Yeah, absolutely.
I think we should.
Yeah. NTPA Region 2 of Wasion. Well, they were at Paulding Friday night, and Chuck Russell's got a video of that class at Paulding. The mods were really, really battling to get down the track, bouncing bad. And Bob said, for your first time driving a mod, this is not going to be the night because it was bumpy as all get out. So she drove Spook Gone Wild on Saturday at Wasion, her first time ever getting in the seat of a mod with, 4 motors were on, but the left front had no supercharger, wasn't hooked up, but 3 motors on and went for a ride.
No, they changed that. There was only 3 on. They changed their configuration, so they did like
Wild Child is, but Spook Gone Wild had 4, yeah.
But I think they have a video on their Facebook page of her run somewhere. I saw it somewhere.
Yeah, I remember seeing a couple of videos of that pass. But Lisa, we are very proud of you. We know you were nervous.
Yep.
Glad you got in it anyway and hammered down.
Joe Stock bowling team.
It's going to be a whole lot of fun to watch you grow as a driver this season.
We can also now say that we knew it was coming, but it's out there now. Les Corporal's new modified is out from Modern Machine.
Which one?
Bottom right, the one with the guide in it. Yeah. Yeah. It'll be cool to see how well, like how much he is.
I could not imagine.
Yeah, but I did see that they are planning on running Region 2 points this year without having Billy around. They're not going to run any Grand National events other than Bowling Green. So we'll not see them in Toma. But
and we're going to miss them in Rockwell, too.
Was that?
I said we're going to miss them in Rockwell, too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The Bargy family had a wild ride this past weekend. Out there
Yes.
as well.
Yes.
Yeah. Pogo sticked bad.
When the hitch broke.
Yikes.
Yeah, it went really fast, really quick, but they held it together.
Throw the shoot, as Charles would say.
Yeah.
And it all started with being at Paulding and taking a wild ride, too.
That guy's like, whoa, man.
Wow.
Yeah,
that
it literally
was
took off the entire hitch.
Do you have any idea how much force that takes to break one of those?
All of it.
Yeah.
All of it.
Yeah.
Yeah, the second
Freaking
chain
real.
wasn't handy there.
See, that's where a second hitch would be nice in the NTPA rulebook.
Yeah,
You know, how much does it affect it? Who knows? But, you know, luckily, because I think Ron Bargy second was driving, right?
I
Yes.
believe
Yeah,
so,
Derek-
So
I think
luckily he was able
Derek
to
right?
just keep it straight and bring it to a stop.
Yeah, I could have gone real bad in a lot of
Yep.
ways.
Yeah, luckily there was plenty of at that time. At that point in the run, it was early on, so he had the runoff room.
Yep, and safety equipment work. Obviously, the kill switch was pulled, so
Yeah.
But you're right. You know, it's that breakage started in Paulding. I mean, the run he had there, he went 200 feet out and he went 200 feet up and down.
Oof.
Shouldn't laugh about it, but yeah, you can
Don
imagine.
D, to be fair, it was a turbine thing because Don Dean did the same thing.
yeah.
Well, they can't pedal him.
No,
It's all or nothing. you know?
No.
Not that you really ever pedal a mod, but you kind of can.
Yeah.
Was it at Mount Sterling that the Indian Outlaw did the same thing?
God, LD did that a couple times.
Yeah, I think at Mount Sterling it was one of them.
Yeah, I think you're right.
Like early 2000s there.
Yeah.
And there's not a lot of runoff room where he at Mount Sterling. So
The one time it went away from him, the other time it went up, broke away, and then nosedived down a left front and stopped like right now.
yeah, Mount Sterling, I'm pretty sure is the same thing as what happened to Bargy over the weekend where it broke and it slingshot him. You know, he just had to ride the brakes. Hopefully it stopped.
Oh, every pulling team should have their own trash can. I wanted to say that tonight. So,
Nice.
Wes Spencer and the Bushwhacker.
So that's put your engine in after you scatter it?
That's what I was just thinking. Unfortunately,
Wes does not leave anything at the starting line, if you know what I'm saying. So,
This is true.
Charles, I always see that meme and I think of you. I can just see you doing something like that, putting a little post on there. So.
Yep.
Uh-oh, Waggle's blowing up my phone again. Now what's he sending me?
oh boy.
Oh, pictures of the Jolly Green Giant component. Nice.
Nice.
I don't think that's a component yet, but I'll start that rumor. I want to show you guys that diesel truck. I think I put it on TikTok. There's Burkholtz's run up in Mackville. Go for a ride. Here's a 6,000 RPM. Sounds like that. I like it. That's why tractor pulling's awesome, right there. What these guys do, I saw this. Altman Motorsports.
It was a birthday party. It was a Chick-fil-A themed birthday party. And so
Well, they're closed on Sunday, so I hope this was on a Saturday. Where are they from, Brent?
Not sure. Tennessee or Kentucky, I would say. I know they pull up those guys down there.
Is that Leroy's announcer stand?
Yep.
Wow, that's pretty
There's
good.
kind of a group of
I-70
them.
Showdown, Effingham County Fairgrounds, Illinois Tractor Pulling Association.
Who's that guy talking? Is that Brent?
Some nerd.
Jamie?
Nice.
There might be a group of people in that area that kind of want to move or tear down that announcer stand
Why is
There
that?
it is. There it is.
to move it back, but they
Is it in the
won't
way?
move back.
Yeah. Like I said, that's sacred
It's
ground.
historical, I guess.
Mm-hmm.
Well, you're RJ Simon and you have a pulling sled. That's just awesome.
That is a good looking Pete.
Yeah, it is.
That is awesome. I got Ed Walker. I did a video with him. You guys need to help me figure out why my iPhone does this high resolution.
Lundgaard Motorsports.
Why is it
We're
so
in Paris,
white?
Missouri, and one of the questions we
What am I doing wrong?
When that happens, you need to touch the screen on your
That's what I
subject.
said.
It will adjust the white balance.
But right, like I don't know that it's that bright though. That's the thing. You know what I mean?
You got
Is
to
there
turn
an
your
auto?
screen
Is there an
up.
auto adjust on that?
Yeah, but sometimes they get a little funky.
Just touch the screen.
Yeah, like touch the screen on your subject. So like,
Oh, here we go. I found it.
oh,
It's really white, but I found it.
Oh. Bye, Charger.
Charles just threw up in his mouth a little bit. I guarantee that.
Was Kendra driving?
Yeah. I don't think the front end was spinning.
Nope.
Last hole of the night.
yeah, and you know what was funny was, I mean, Kendra had tried to get it off the line before that, and they backed her up and they brought her to it. I hollered at Laura. I said, "What'd she do?" And Laura says, "I don't know, but if she runs it again, she's going to send that Charger into oblivion." And so Laura kind of called her shot there, because the very next time she'd wander up and that happened.
She definitely did. So, gentlemen, anything else?
Yeah, farmers start saving your money, and you can buy the very first Bush Light wrapped combine.
I saw that.
Is that on Tractor Zoom?
Yeah, it's on Tractor Zoom, and it's a pretty big deal. It's the very first one that was ever done. It's a 2013 S680. Got 3,000 engine hours and 1,800 separator hours. No expense spared on the maintenance. Whatever it needed, it got. And my buddy Bryce Volker is selling that for Speckman Auction. And it is the only it's the
This
only
is
one.
Bryce with Speckman
that
Auction Service. I'm here at Adams, Nebraska today with Dean Otto, owner of Otto Farms. Dean, tell us about the combine you got for sale.
It's an S680. It's a 2013 model. 2,999 engine hours on it, 1,827 separator hours. It's a Pro Drive transmission, 5-speed feeder house. It has AM, FM radio.
Yeah. We don't care about all that. Why does it have Bush Light on this tonight?
On the back, it has the hydraulic shafts. It's the first one.
Are there any stories about people wanting to take pictures or anything? I know this combine's been all over social media, and it's kind of an icon in this area and even across the Corn Belt.
It's kind of funny. The first year especially, we'd be out combining, there'd be cars sitting along the sides of the roads, and you'd get people asking, we take a picture. It's been pretty fun, you know. It's just been took the monotony off combining every day. A lot of people wanting to take pictures and talk about it.
But no stories like Unionville, Missouri when
No stories like Unionville. No, I don't think it. No, I don't think any of those stories. Or at least Dean didn't. Or at least Dean kept his yap shut about that. But we're all kind of interested to see what happens when it sells, whether or not that Bush Light wrap brings a premium on a combine or not. Obviously, I'm kind of hoping it does for Dean's sake and for Bryce's sake too. But that remains to be seen as to what happens. So, but it's, you know, it's pretty cool. It's the only one that's it should be the only one that ever sells with the wrap, because it was the first one. All the rest of them, whether there's paperwork or not, or it's a handshake, the stipulation is you don't sell it with the wrap on it. I've talked to a couple of different owners. One of my buddies just north of town here has a 9770 that's wrapped, and he said that was one of the provisos. You ever get rid of it, that wrap goes away before you sell it. So,
good information.
Chance to own a piece of history. And we set records on big buds today.
I saw that earlier.
Yeah, there's a pair of big buds on a farm auction in South Dakota. There's a 525.50, which is the most popular one they ever made. They made like 150 of them. So, I mean, popular does not necessarily equate to them being plentiful. But brought 150, I think. 140. I forget what it was, but it was a number that we've never seen before on a big bud, at least not on the auction market, which I thought was cool.
Well, guys, we need to end the show. Paul Romack's computer died, so we can't continue without Paul. So.
No, dear.
He's in the land of Illinois, so it's thinking.
Yeah, I'm going to play a Toma video, and then I'll probably touch on a Mound City video, and then I'm going to shut this thing down. So thank you for another great 2 hours of Hollywood Squares, a.k.a. Let's Grow Pulling Live, guys. And we'll see you soon. Good night, guys.
See you, buddy.
Bye.
It's going to be Jeremy Dillon. The two-bottom, the hope of mystery. Your leaders are 315.18. We've got a new leader. Hey, I think there is some horsepower and some speed. This track tonight is unbelievable. Russ Vandermeer used to run this tractor. They call it the Rustler. It's spelled R-U-S-S-L-E-R. So that's where the name comes from. Mike Vandermeer, the Rustler, Altamont, Illinois.
The real deal, Justin Weidler, your defending points champion, and he was your class winner last night. Listen to those big cubic inch. As it starts to curl, here we go.
and Adam Hillian, Fort Wayne, Indiana. This is Fort Disaster. Lisa Tatum, this is going to be the Park City Auto Parts, hailing out of Parkstown, Kentucky.